Hi everyone, my name is Mimi. I am a licensed and registered counselor here in Malaysia. Now, I have a couple of things that I want to share just to give like a little context for my upcoming videos and what's going to happen. I have finally quit my 9 to 5 job. I know that in one of the videos, oh hi, I think in one of my videos, I actually shared that I do have a 9 to 5 job. I enjoy it very much. It gave me that stability that I needed to do my work as a counselor better. I mean, truth be told, like mental health in Malaysia is still very much a very new industry, although it's booming, which I am very, very grateful for because more people are realizing the importance of it and also more people are willing to talk about it. And I think this leads me to be talking about the after effect of the pandemic. I know a lot of us have already like moved forward with the whole pandemic situation, but I also know that there are also a lot of people like me who are stuck with the impact of the pandemic. A little bit background during the pandemic, I think it not only affected me financially, but emotionally and mentally, and even physically as well. There was a lot happening during that time. So during the pandemic time, I was on my last sprint of internship, which means I need to start seeing clients to get my credits and hours done in order to graduate and to be licensed. And I've also enrolled in a course in family therapy because we were the first batch who are going through the pandemic. We're delayed a lot. Like when it comes to whether or not online therapy is therapy, and we're not allowed to see people face to face. And then I think a lot of people are afraid to go out. I was already like not working because of the internship. And what didn't help was also I ended a relationship where that was pretty important for me at that time. And it definitely took a big turmoil on my mental health, emotional health, like everything. Maybe like a year into the whole lockdown and pandemic, I had a family member who were very sick at that time, very close to me. Yeah, so that was like another traumatic experience to be added on. So it definitely impacted me in all areas of my life. Kind of like give myself a pat on the back that I went through all that. I do not wish anyone to go through the same thing, but what I'm saying is that the impact is bigger than what it looks like, right? It's not just pandemic, right? It's more than that for a lot of people as well. So after the 2 years, which is like 2022, and then I spent another 2 years playing catch up, which means financially playing catch up, life wise playing catch up, just trying to go back to that normal that I'm comfortable with in order to move forward. And I'm very, very proud to say that I'm finally at a place that I feel like, yes, I'm done playing catch up. I'm really done playing catch up. And I can finally choose to do something that speaks to me better, right? Which is counseling, which is talking about mental health, which is making videos. So yeah, so that's one big update as I recover from the whole shebang for the last 4 years. I am also at a place where I want to pick up my hobbies again. I'm a true believer that you need to have fun in order to feel better, to move forward with things, right? And one of the things that I've been putting off is dance. For those who don't know, before becoming a counselor, I am a dancer. I teach classes, I run a business. I remember starting the business in February 2020 and March 2020 was the lockdown. Yeah. You can imagine how much was going on during that time. So dance is one of the things that I just couldn't help but feel not motivated to do it anymore. So I've always wanted to come back to dance since 2023 or 2024. I've always wanted to come back to it as a hobby instead of a career. So I think for the past 2 to 3 years, I've been in survival mode that having fun is the last thing that I could think of. I think last year was probably the first year that I'm like, you know what, let's just go back to classes, let's just start reigniting that spark in dance. It was harder than I thought. If you ever think that starting something is hard, restarting something is even harder. I didn't realize how hard it is for me to get back into dance because in my head, I'm like, okay, I've done this before, this is easy. But it's not the case because when you want to restart something, I think what I noticed myself saying is that what if I can't move my body like I did before? What if I look horrible? What if, all these what ifs kind of come up? Early this year, I actually bite the bullet and then went for a class, which was also a really difficult intermediate class. I went for it, felt good, very good, because I didn't realize that I could keep up because it was an intermediate class. Right? I didn't know I could keep up. I didn't realize that, hey, like I still got it. But the moment I look at my recording of the video, I was devastated. I was spiraling. In my head, I'm like, you look horrible. I was nitpicking everything that I could have done better, that I did wrong, that looked terrible. Then I realized that one moment ago, I was feeling good for showing up. The next moment, I was actually demanding myself to perform well and was super mean to myself. So I think that's the hardest part about restarting is that there is so much of this expectation to perform as your peak self when you are doing it every day. And I think that's hard because restarting means you have to also be very gentle with yourself. You have to be also willing to be at a place where you're back to that beginner mindset, or at least to be kind to yourself that you might not look like the peak. I think part of it also there's a little bit of grief in there where I'm also grieving that I kind of lost a little bit of myself during the past 4 years. For anyone who are restarting a hobby, restarting a passion, know that it's not easy at all, right? It's not that when you've done it before, you could do it. I think on top of that, there is also a layer of judgment, like our own judgment, that we also need to come to terms with. So last week, I actually went back for like a beginner class, not very beginner too, but I went back to classes and I feel so much joy in me for going back after coming to terms that I could be a beginner. So everyone around me is so happy that I'm getting back into dance, but why am I not as excited? Like, why am I nitpicking myself? So right now, I'm just embracing that a little bit, going through that motion of being okay with showing up. So what's next? Because I'm done playing catch up, I want to be resting, recovering, prioritize my mental health above all. I want to walk the talk, right? I talk about taking care of your mental health so much on this channel in real life when meeting people, when seeing clients. But in real life, it could be hard. I want this channel to be able to showcase how it looks like in real life and not just go meditate, go journal. It's not just about that. That's a lot of like how it looks like being gentle to yourself on a day-to-day basis, how it looks like to be able to put your mental health first, put yourself first on a day-to-day basis. Right? I think that is the whole vibe, the whole concept of this channel moving forward. I'm also doing a 45 days challenge on Instagram. If you're keen, you can follow me there. I am also learning how to be okay with my anxiety for not having that stability. Definitely a huge part of quitting my job and then having more time to be in an industry that's not very stable. So yeah, so that's what's next. So if you are new here, hi. If you've been following me for a while, thank you so much. I hope you get something from this video, no matter big or small. And do take care because you deserve it.